Hey guys, what's up? This is Andrew for TrendSensors.com. So it's finally my last day in my quarantine hotel, guys, and I can tell you that I'm very happy it finally ends. 2 weeks is very long, but it's kind of necessary, I guess. So today I want to make an analysis on GameStop because it's been a long time I haven't made an analysis on GameStop on YouTube because, guys, on my Discord I post daily information on GameStop. But I think there are a lot of things to say here. So I'm also going to talk about BlackBerry in this video. So let's see what the charts are telling us. Let's get into it. So let's start with GameStop, guys. So I want to take a step back here, guys, because I'm hearing a lot of things on my Discord. For example, some people are showing me some analysis where we go to 86, which is of course possible, but very unlikely to me, at least in the coming weeks. So let's see what we are having here. First, with a step back, guys, it's important here because the price action is moving 5% down or up. Everybody is like kind of scared that it will move lower, but guys, 5% at this level for GameStop, it's nothing, right? We need to take a step back to see the longer term kind of trend and see if we have information in this. So once again, guys, I repeat, this is the techniques I like to use, guys. I use the breakout technique, which is very simple. When you have a breakout, you usually have a retest and then the market is going higher. You associate this technique to whatever that helps you. I like to use Elliott wave because, for example, when I have here, so here is the breakout, all right? And the breakout has been done with doing 5 waves up. All right, which is for me a sign that the motive waves are going up, so which is a bullish sign for the longer term, guys. We're talking here about all this area. All this area for me is a bullish area, so this is only a correction. And if you are not sure if it's a correction or not, which of course can happen, which happens to me, which happens to everyone, you never know for sure if we are correcting or not. You just try to see if you can find 5 waves, and if it's clean or not, what can be cleaner than that? All right, this is a typical impulse. This is just perfect. All right, so this, how does it look to you, guys? Does it look impulsive? Can we really do 5 waves out of it? So some people are trying. So 1, 2, it could be a 3, 4 and 5. So this is, I think, the crazy scenario that is going to 86. Someone showed me this, so you can see that it doesn't make sense. I would see maybe this is my alternative scenario, to be honest. It's a 5 that is going to this area, to the 140 area. I will try to make this trend line better because it's important to see where is its retest. Okay, so I'm connecting it, the highs. You can connect the highs or the close. It's up to you. I usually do what is feeling the best. I prefer to use highs. Of course, for breakouts, I will use the closing of the candles, but for my trend lines, I like to use the highs. If you want to use the close, you can. It will just give you a different trend line, all right? So, for example, here I'm using the close, and you can see that this trend line is just not good because here there is no breakout, no volume. So if I use the close, it's like this. It's fair as well, so you can do both. You see, you can do both. It's just going to give you slightly different levels, and you need to see here. So the maximum volume was here, 26th of May, 8. So it's here. So you see, the breakout is higher. The breakout is higher because the big volume happened here. So here and here. So to me, the breakout is here. So I prefer to use my method that is slightly higher. Bam and bam. Okay, I use the highs. Okay, it's not perfect, guys. All right, try to do better. It's fine. I mean, I'm just here giving you areas, and here, guys, I am right on the breakout candle. Now the breakout candle is just above, but this is to me feeling better. I can see that here definitely it's a breakout with a retest. So this is telling me that this trend line is gonna here act as support, guys. All right, so it's gonna support the price around this level. So maybe we're gonna have something like this. So all right, so my worst case scenario would be 135. This is my worst case scenario. And then we have an ABC. So then the 5th wave, of course, can be longer, but what I mean is here the support is going to be very strong. This is the worst case scenario. Now, what I prefer, this is not my preferred case, guys, what I prefer is to here have an ABC, because, guys, this looks more like an ABC to me. It is, kind of messy. So corrective moves are messy. So whenever you see something that is full of noise, usually it's corrective, so it gives you some hints about the larger degree trend. Here, this is to me messy. And what we are having here, guys, is to me here a breakout, all right? So all this area is a breakout area, okay? And here we're just having breakout go higher, retest. We also have, see if I go a bit closer, let's see if we're having some divergences on the hourly time frame. Because whenever you have a breakout, check if you had some divergences before. It's going to tell you if the breakout is likely to succeed and to be sustainable. So basically, if a reversal is really coming. So here, for example, we can see on the hourly time frame, I check the lows. Here, bam, 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 lower, lower, lower. And here you can see that the MACD is going higher on the hourly time frame. I'm not sure it's that relevant because this, you can see here we have few lows that are not actually giving us divergences. So I don't think the hourly time frame is good to use here. I'm going to jump to the 4 hours time frame and see if we're still having the divergence, and it disappears. You see, the MACD is not making lower lows here. You can see it clearly. So on the hourly time frame, I have a divergence, but with a lot of lows between, and here I'm losing the divergence. Okay, so once again, guys, I repeat, what we are looking for are divergences. So we are looking for the regular bullish divergence, which means because we are on a move down. So in blue, you have the market. The market is going lower, making lower lows, but the momentum is already shifting higher. So this signals that the market is out of steam and exhausted, and probably that the reversal is going to come. So I like to associate those with breakouts, guys. This gives you very good signals. So we have the breakout, of course, as you guys saw here. So I'm checking if in this move down, I have some divergences, and this is what I just did. And you can see that on the 4 hours time frame, I don't have any. So it means that there is still some weakness here and that this breakout might be a fake out. Okay, this is what it's telling us. We need to keep this in mind. Here, what are the levels we want to see broken to go higher? So basically, we have already broken the major resistance level that was to me at 180. So now we just want to stay above. We just want to stay above 180. If we fail, if we come back to the 160, 180 area, all this area, it doesn't look good, guys, all right? If we go back there, it doesn't look good. I'm not saying that there is a very high probability we break 160, but there is definitely a 50-60% chance probability that 160 doesn't hold in this case, because it would mean that the bulls were not able to sustain the price here, so they won't probably able to sustain it here because it's weaker. Now it's looking good, so if it's not going higher when it's looking good, it's not going to go higher when it's looking bad. So this is my view, guys. We need to basically stay above those moving averages that I'm having here. So the 20 period on the 4 hours time frame is a nice indicator. It's holding the price for 3 days. So we need to stay above this moving average. So it's around 175. So this is the levels we need to close above every 4 hours for GameStop to be good. And then, of course, you guys know my scenarios. If this is good, then it means that the higher degree wave counting is like this, all right? And that we're going to the 800 area, as I'm saying, as I'm calling for months. So I think that this is still a very likely scenario. So let's find out. Let's see. I'm only worried here, guys. I was saying this on my Discord. I'm only worried here, guys, by the very low volume. As you can see, I mean, you don't even see it, right? It's so low. It's here, guys. You can't even see it. To see it, I need to do like this, and then it disappears. And it's the lower volume we had since 2019. So of course, when people don't trade stock and don't talk about it, it is less likely to go up. So that's not something good. I also need to check all the synthetic short interest, but I don't have my gears here. I'm going to check that when I come back to my place tomorrow, guys. I'm going to update you with all the financial data that is very important here to check. The volume, the synthetic short, the day to cover, the DTC, So I'm going to talk about that very soon. Now, let's have a look at BlackBerry, guys. A lot of you are talking to me about this stock. So let's check. I have posted some analysis already on my Discord, but let's do it together here, guys. Let's see what we are having. So basically, same thing. Huge breakout, guys. I'm a breakout trader, all right? So when I see a breakout, I know that I'm going to be a buyer at the retest. And you can see breakout, retest. So of course, it's easy to say afterwards, but I'm just showing you why I'm bullish here, because for me, this event is still impacting the price action. So then we have a breakout. Then I like to use Elliott wave counting to see where we are, all right? So Elliott wave counting is very, it just gives you hints. There is nothing precise in this method, all right? You have some precision when you talk about, for example, Fibonacci extensions, but when it's about counting the waves, you always have different countings. So it's just something that you use on top of the other tools and to summarize the information. Here, I'm seeing a 1, I'm seeing a 2, I'm seeing a 3rd. So to me, this looks like a 4, and I'm waiting for a 5th. So this is what I'm waiting for, guys. A 5th wave like this. For now, we are just doing a WXY correction that to me is not complete. Not complete yet, guys. Well, I don't have the volume here. Let me add the volume. Bam. So what do we have here, guys? Same very low volumes, not that good. The trend is going lower. So what you guys need to check here is this trend line, guys. You know that we are in a probably Y wave. ABC, you can count ABC or WXY. The only difference is that A and C have 5 waves, whereas W and Y have 3 waves. All right. So this is to me more a WXY, but it doesn't really matter. And what you want to know, what you want to look at here, guys, is this trend line. Whenever we break it, we probably have completed the WXY correction, and we're probably going to have some more moves up. Of course, it's also possible that this is a huge triangle. So just keep in mind, guys, that everything can happen. It can be like this as well. What I'm just saying is that we're going to have support at 830 for sure. And maybe before that, we're gonna have some bullish momentum coming back if we break this trend line that you guys can make yourself, that I'm using in logarithmic scale, very important for this kind of stocks. And so here the breakout level is around 1050. All right. So if you see BlackBerry trading above 1050, guys, it's looking good. Then as usual, you know, for day trading, you can buy the breakout, but for swing trading, you don't buy breakouts, you buy the retests. You're going to miss some trades, but the ones you're going to enter to are going to be winners quicker. You're going to feel better. You're going to take better decisions. This is my way of doing things. Of course, everyone can do it its way. So here I would wait for breakout and buy the retest and put a stop loss around this level. All right, this is the way I do my trading. Here or here, up to you guys. So check out what is happening here. And then, of course, guys, if we have this breakout, we would then need to have the major breakout around here where you can expect some correction, and then we're going to move higher. All right, so we can expect maybe something like this with a retest here someone. So this would be as well a very nice area to buy, and then we're going to the 65 area like I said before. No, sorry, it's not 65 area. We would go to the, depending, either 32 or 48. Those are the 2 usual fib retracements. Sorry, this was a bit too high. Okay, so maybe to the 30 or 50 area. Those are my targets for 2 or 22. So I guess that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to click on the sub, like, and bell button so you're gonna be the first to know when I upload anything new. And stay close to shore. See you guys.